Hey, what's going on YouTube? So I wanted to make this video because I was out today and I encountered someone and I don't know how it happens, but for some apparent reason or another, I try my best when I'm out places to just kind of, especially places when we are required to kind of be social and things of that nature. I tend to try to just be by myself and just kind of focus on what I got going on and just get the service and go without talking so much because I always find myself getting on the topic of religion, faith, spirituality. And it's not even something that I'm out doing. It's just people get to talking about it. And I'm just like, goodness, I'm not trying to focus on that right now. I'm just trying to get what I need to get and go on about my business. I'm not trying to do this. And it's just kind of like, uh, you know, you have to kind of do that. But I wanted to make the video because the person said something quite interesting. They were talking about how they believe in God, but they're not so. I don't want to twist this person's words, but they said something to the effect of when you follow Jesus, it's almost like you have this you got this free reign to do whatever it is that you want to do, and that there is no discipline and that you don't have to be held accountable for your actions. And I found that to be quite interesting, but I've heard a lot of different people say that. Like, it's just like you can do what you want to do. And I'm thinking to myself, that couldn't be further from the truth. It's not to say that you have the opportunity to do whatever it is that you want to do. It's you have the grace because if people really took the time to focus on themselves and actually do the necessary work that they're supposed to do to get themselves to the level that they want to be internally, you wouldn't have time to worry about somebody else's life and what somebody else has got going on, because you got enough going on inside of you that you can write a whole book and have room for a whole series of books. So I find that hard, that and I couldn't help but the download that I received in my spirit was just like, that is because people want to be justified and disciplining other people and policing other people's lives. Because let's just say you are people, so they're going to be held accountable. Who's going to be the one holding them accountable? You. And who's going to hold you accountable if you're holding someone else accountable? You see what I'm saying? So it's just like people want to be justified because you have what it is you have a lot of people that are hurting. You have a lot of people that are angry and they're mad and they're looking for ways to be justified and releasing those angers, releasing that anger in maybe a possibly violent way. And when I say violent, I don't mean, physical violence. It could just be verbal. It could be whatever the case may be. They want to be able to release that. And they feel like when you are a follower of Christ that, oh, you just can't, you can't say anything to anybody. You just gotta, but what difference does it make? And it's like I told the person, if you're a believer, when you die and you go to be judged, do you think the Most High is going to be concerned with what I got going on? Do you think when you go into a courtroom and you're being sentenced or you're on trial, is the judge going to ask you, so what did your neighbor do? Your judge is not worried about your neighbor. Your judge is worried about what you got going on and what did you do. And so it's just kind of like, what difference does it make if, you know, you're unable to police my life? What difference does it make? What bearing is it going to have on your life? Are you going to get that house that you wanted? Is your marriage going to be okay? Are you going to get that car you were looking for? Did your bank account get bigger? Did you get a pay raise? Did you get a new business? Like, what are you going to get out of it? Let's just say, hypothetically speaking, you have full permission to tell anybody whatever they got going on, to correct them and all these great things, right? And that's what you go around doing. Nobody's correcting you. Nobody's correcting you though. And everybody's just correcting everybody, and they just saying, hey. So at the end of the day, let me ask you this question. So you're doing that. You go about doing your ways. But at the end of the day, when you go home to a pile of crap. You go home to a pile of problems. You go home to just a house full of mess, wayward children, wayward child, content, all those different types of things that you go home to. And then you go home and then you do your own little issue too, right? You do your own little issue. You probably drink. You probably smoke. So so you do all these different types of things that you do. But at the end of the day, what happens when you go to the other side and that time of judgment? Do you think that the Most High is going to say, you know what? Yeah, you did a really good job at policing other people's lives. You did a good job. And yeah, that other one, I couldn't stand. I'm so glad I'm so glad you told them that, because they just thought that they was just way too much. I'm so glad you sit there and told them that. How you doing? But do you think that that's what he's going to say to you? Do you think he's not going to mention anything that you did? Do you think he's not going to be concerned with anything that you did? Or do you think it's going to be more so like, so tell me, why did you go over there and tell them people what they were doing wrong when you had the same thing going on at your house? Or I just had to forgive you for doing the same thing a couple of weeks ago. See? Then what are you going to say? And I'm not saying this because I just want to be like, oh, I'm trying to bully. I'm not trying to do any of that at all. All I'm talking about is the encounter I had with somebody today. And I just want to be able to let you all know and just kind of think about those types of things. Like, we got to get out of the habit of worrying about other people and start focusing on doing the work on ourselves. Because at the end of the day, you can't control nobody else. I know it sounds cliche, but you can lead a horse to water, but you cannot make them drink it. And even if they drink the water, is your thirst going to be quenched by them drinking the water that you need? When they drink the water and they swallow the water, are you going to be able to feel it? Is your mouth now going to be, is your mouth still going to be dry? You have to think about those types of things. What difference does it make because somebody else is doing something? What difference does it make because they're over there doing what they want to do? And we got on the topic about what did the person say? Something about when you see people, I don't want to, it doesn't really bother me, but I just don't want to see it. And the first thing came to my mind was just like in my spirit, just, do you know how many people don't want to see you and me? Do you know how many people don't want to turn on their screen and see someone that looks like me? See someone that looks like you? Do you know how many people don't want to see 18-wheelers driving on regular roads or even on the highways? Do you know how many people believe that 18-wheelers should literally have their own highways? Do you know how many people believe and don't want to see things? Do you know how many people don't like birds? Do you know how many people don't like bees? And they don't want to see it. They don't understand. They know that they can pollinate, but couldn't other animals do it? So let's just imagine that we lived in a world where everybody, whatever they didn't like, they had the opportunity to eradicate it, right? How long and how soon do you think it would be before we all are eradicated, because somehow, somewhere, someone's going to say something about someone that they don't like and they don't want to see it. And they're going to be like Wanda Maximoff, the Scarlet Witch, and just say, be gone. No more. Think about it. You know, we just have to we have to do better. We have to continue to better. And I just wanted to encourage you all to continue to stay on your journey, continue to do the work, continue to show up, and continue to bring the best version that you possibly can to wherever you go every single day, no matter how hard it is. And I want you to know that it does not go unseen and it is not in vain. Okay? So I'll see you all in the next video, and I love you all. Bye.